Hey guys, welcome back, and we are in the day 6. Here we are going to analyze the malware. Yes, this room is about malware analysis, executable. So let's dive into this room. Like, this is a medium room, and in this room we are going to discuss some common tooling for malware analysis within a sandbox environment. And here in this room you just need to start your virtual machine. And is there a direct link available? There is no direct link. So this is basically your virtual machine. So I'm just expanding its size and minimizing. So, and in this room, you do have a virtual machine and a split screen available. And you are also given credentials to connect directly via RDP, VNC, or SSH. So let it start. And you can also connect it using these credentials via RDP. So please note it is imperative that you do not execute helper.exe is a file, maybe the malware that they are giving us to analyze, and it's not recommended to execute that particular file. So yeah, let's move back and read some of the story. Like the town of Werville remains quiet in the middle of the night, while the residents of Werville are nicely tucked up in bed, blissfully unaware the SOC team at the best festive company, TBFC, remain alert, poised and ready for whatever may face them. So, monitoring their screens, armed with a freshly poured mug of hot cocoa, the elves of the circle watch their dashboards diligently. Suddenly, the elves receive an email in unison from Elf MC Close head Elf FAs in their inboxes. It reads like from this MC close, and the subject is a new schedule awaits. Attachment. There is an attachment in this particular email which is hop helper. Maybe they are trying to to perform a phishing attack by sending a malware like hop helper.exe executable file as an attachment. To all else, going forward, we will be using a new program for creating and viewing team rotas. This new program will revolutionize how rotas are made here at the Best Festives company. Please contact IT support if you have any issues running the program. So kind regards, remain the best. So this seems to be pretty convincing, but actually it isn't, because there is an attachment that's an executable. We can't trust this. So why is Elf MC Klaus working at 3 a.m.? Screams a member of the SOC team in the background. They're right. Something is amiss. Elf MC Close is immediately suspicious. Their years of experience in the SOC have given them the wisdom not to download out of the blue executables. Without MC Skiddy's wisdom, Elf MC Blue takes charge, loading up their malware investigation tool kick. The investigation begins. Today's room will have you taking the place of LMC Blue, a highly talented member of the Best Festival Company's malware investigation squad. You have been tasked with investigating a highly suspicious executable that is being shared within the company. In today's room, we'll be covering the following: the principles of malware analysis, an introduction to sandboxes, static versus dynamic analysis, tools of the trade, PE Studio, ProcMon, RegShot, and yeah, let's begin. So this is the incident, like getting an executable mail at 3 a.m. and let's have a look on to that. So I'm just clicking I have access to this sandbox because here maybe session is takeover. Use this tab. Yeah, we have, I think this is a Windows mission, so we do have access, right? So yeah, it's good. So let's move on. Malware analysis using sandboxes. There is a lot of things that we can read from here. Like, it's basically malware analysis, the process of examining malicious file to understand its functionality, operation, and methods for defense against it. By analyzing a malicious file or application, we can see exactly how it operates and therefore know how to prevent it. For example, could the malicious file communicate with an attacker server? We can block that server, right? So we could the malicious file leave traces on the machine? We can use this to determine if the malware has ever infected another device. Instead of fearing malware, we can take a proactive approach by translating technical findings into practical defensive measures and understanding how the malware fits into an attacker's techniques. There are two main branches of malware analysis. One of them is static and the another one is dynamic. Static analysis focuses on inspecting a file without executing it, whereas dynamic analysis involves execution. We will come to this shortly. Like, we have to learn about sandboxes. In cybersecurity, sandboxes are used to execute potentially dangerous code. think of this as disposable digital pens. These sandboxes are safe, isolated environments where potentially malicious applications can perform their actions without risking sensitive data or impacting other systems. The use of sandboxes is part of the golden rule in malware analysis. Never run dangerous applications on devices you care about. So most of the time, sandboxes present themselves as virtual machines. Like virtual machines are a popular choice for sandboxing because you can control how the system operates and benefit from features such as snapshotting. So which allows you to create and restore the machines to various stages of its status. Basically, this is the VM that I'm running Kali Linux. I can take snapshot, right? Here is an option to take snapshot. Once I take snapshot, it will save this session, right? So whatever I do after taking snapshot, I can just clear it out by retrieving the snapshot. So that's the purpose of snapshot, right? And a lot of things that you can read from there. So let's move on with the interactive static analysis. It will check about checksums, which is a hashing. Like an example, like you can see, it's about hash and strings. It will give you some of the strings that seems to be useful. And imports, like imports are a list of libraries and functions that the application depends upon. And resources contains data such as the icon that is displayed to the user. This is useful to examine, especially since malware might be used a Word document icon to trick the user. And demonstrating PE Studio and a lot more informations are there. We are going to learn about PE Studio and a lot of things here. A RegShot, a lot more. Some of the malware analysis tools there. So these are cool tools like Process Monitor, which will monitor all the process. So yeah, let's begin this journey of malware analysis. First of them is about static analysis. As we learned in this video, it's about analyzing the malware without executing it, right? So what is the SHA-256 sum of the hope helper.exe? This can be obtained from using PE Studio. So basically, you have this PE Studio available here. So let me open that. And we can just upload our malicious file to this PE Studio. Our file is hop helper, so I don't know where is it, like hop helper. Yeah, this is the hop helper.exe, and so I'm just uploading that. So I'm just zooming this, and here is our SHA-256. So I'm just copying this line, answering to this question. You can also use PowerShell to obtain the SHA-256, but unfortunately, this is not the answer that they needed. Yeah, yeah, maybe which includes everything like this. No, SHA-256 of hophelper.exe. So basically, this is the SHA-256. This is hophelper.exe is our file name. Is there anything wrong? Let me look. We also have a lot of SHA-256. Like we have file. This is what we pasted. We do have a PowerShell to get the SHA-256 sum. Let me open this folder. Here is our hopehelper.exe. So let me run PowerShell here. Let me use PowerShell to obtain that. Let me list the files. Here is our hopehelper.exe. So I'm using, oh, I just forgot the command that I used to get, yeah, oh, I remember right now. Like you have commands like get file hash minus algorithm. Here we want SHA-256, and we can just enter the hope helper. Oops. Hopehelper.exe. Here is it. Here is our hash. I'm just copying that, and I'm just pasting it here. Yeah, this is the answer. Maybe it doesn't include like the answer was correct. So this process does not include the rest of the contents. I think you can see it will be ending with 33, but the answer is also ending with 33, starting with F29. It's also starting with F29. I don't know why that seems to be wrong, but I was able to get the proper answer using the PowerShell. So anyways, let's move on. Like static analysis within the strings of helper.exe. A flag with the format thm exists. What is the flag value? This can be found towards the bottom of the strings output. So this can be obtained using PE Studio within the string section. So we are also using PE Studio. We can move to the string section to get the flag. So yeah, here is the string section. Let me go there, and this program cannot be run in DOS mode. These are the strings available in that particular malware hope helper.exe, and we just need to find the string that starts with the THM. Is there any search option? I don't know, bro. So yeah, let me click here and let me try to search. So you have to move manually to find flag. There is an alternative tool like die. Is there any die tool available? I personally use the die tool. Let me check if die is available here. Unfortunately, I could not find die. Detect TC is also a pretty good tool. So yeah, let's try to search this. I could not find any option for me to get like control F find option. This seems to be pretty convenient. Here, all the values are starting with a T, right? So yeah, this seems to be the answer is nearby. Here, hey, got it. Strings found. So this is the answer. So I'm just copying this line. Oh no, I'm just copying the value so that it will works great. So yeah, you have to copy the value. Yeah, that's it. We were able to find that. Now we are moving for dynamic analysis. What registry value was the hop helper.exe modified for persistence? Provide the full path of the key that has been modified. We do have hint. Investigate the registry comparison file from RegShot. You can search for hop helper executable. The executable has installed a registry value within the run registry key. So investigate the registry comparison file from RegShot. So you have to use RegShot. Here is our RegShot, and this is our hop helper. I'm just running the RegShot, and I think I just need to use the RegShot, right? So you do have a description of how you can use the RegShot tool, which will be somewhere available. Here it is. First of all, press the first shot, then I think you have to select the file. Like I'm just clicking the first shot. So you do have a lot of description to how you can complete this. Yeah, RedShot. Yeah, let's read from here. Like RedShot is a widely used utility, especially when analyzing malware on Windows. It works by creating two snapshots. So basically, we have to take two snapshots, right, of the registry, one before the malware is run and another afterwards. The result are then compared to identify any changes. Malware aims to establish persistence, meaning it seeks to run as soon as the device is switched on. A common technique for malware is to add run key into the registry, which is frequently used to specify which applications are automatically executed when the device is powered on. Before executing the malware malicious sample hop helper.exe, let's create a snapshot of our registry as it currently is. So we can compare the differences once the sample has been executed. Let's load up RedShot and create a capture of the registry as it still currently exists. The shortcut to this has also been placed on the desktop of the analyst machine. So yeah, we just don't need to change anything. We can just short. So first change the output directory of the machine to user's desktop using the box. Oops, I just done wrong. So let me try to quit this. That's why it is recommended to read all before you are going to interact. So I'm just closing this program. So I'm starting the red shot. First, we just need to change the path to our desktop. Output path, I think, to the desktop. Here it is. Yeah, just change the path to desktop. Then once set, let's create a first snapshot. Press the first shot and shot on the drop down. So yeah, let's click the shot option. The shot is happening. So yeah, please note that this may take a few minutes to complete. So basically, you have to wait some time to get it complete. So now that we have taken a snapshot of the registry, you should proceed with executing hop helper.exe sample and take another snapshot. We will then compare the differences. For you, this is the hop helper.exe executable located in the hop helper folder for on your desktop. Now that you have executed the sample, you might see that some strange things happened. So yeah, let this work first. After that, we can just execute the malicious file on this particular mission and let us see the changes. Okay. Once we have executed our sample, let's return to RegShot and capture our second snapshot using the same procedure as above. Click on the second shot button and shot. RegShot is now capturing the registry again and output in the differences of a file. Okay. Now after a few seconds, let's compare the button that appears. So everything seems to be in HTML, but here I just accidentally selected a plain TXT. Oops, I didn't notice that, man. So as per here, like everything is in HTML, right? So I think let's close these and open it again, and let's do the first shot using HTML document. Oh shit, it's in desktop, right? It's already in desktop, so I think I don't know how to change the path. Let it work. Basically, you have to wait some time to get it work. Red shot is like a snapshot, right? So taking registry snapshot. So red shot is basically used for taking registry snapshot, right? Yeah, that's cool. But it's been taking some time to get it work. It will run. Yeah, that's done. Now what we can do is go on hop helper and let me execute that file or malware. Yeah, everything was changed to some other color, so it worked. Now I'm just taking the second shot. Look at these, right? After executing the malware, everything seems to be changed, right? Oh my god, man, what is happening? I just put the second shot. So you have to wait some time. So after waiting some time, you'll be able to see the compare option to compare. So that's what it is saying. So let it work. So I don't know, my computer is behaving like bad. Like let it load. Yeah, we do have compare option. Just clicking the compare button. We can search for executable within the log that opens up. So let it work. Let's move to the questions. Provide the full path of the registry that has been modified. We do have in investigate the registry comparison file from RegShot. You can search for hop helper executable. The executable has installed a registry value within the run registry key. So here it is. Our HTML is here. Oops, this is HTML, and if you execute this in plain text, you will be able to see something different. So, anyways, we have to find the registry. We can just search for I think uh, what they mentioned about hop helper. Here it is, hop helper. Oh my god, registry values. So this is the registry comparison file. This is in HTML format. I think it's good to like investigate in normal plain text format. Let me check that. It is saying that we can search for Hope Helper. These are some of the registry examples. So we need to find something in this particular format. We have something called HKU. You can search for Hope Helper executable. So the executable has installed a registry value within the run registry key. So within the run registry key. So we can search for run. Here it is. We can see run. We only have one Hope Helper, as you can see. It starts with HKU. It's a break. I think it will be starting with the HKU slash software. Microsoft Windows current version. So this is the only run that I was able to find. Is there any option for plain text? So I'm just clearing that. So what I can do now is clear all, clear second shot, and taking the second shot as plain text. So this is what we get. We need to find something from here, like provide the full path of the key that has been modified. So what registry value has been Hope Helper? Investigate the registry comparison file from RegShot. You can search for Hope Helper executable. And at the last, like, we have a ProcMon. For what network protocol Hope it is using for communicate. So it will be in the run, right? So let's search for run. So there will be only one run that I was able to find. So this is Hope Helper. There will be 7 Hope Helpers available. So here also we have HKU. software, Microsoft current version search, something like this. I need things in plain text, so let me click compare. Plain text versus HTML. I don't know if it works or not. Here it is. We were able to find, yeah, this is now more clear than what we were able to get using HTML, right? So this seems to be pretty convenient for me to understand and also for you to understand. So let's search for run, and this is about run. Here it is. We do have one information. Here it is, guys. We were able to find, I think. So yeah, we were able to find so easily using this plain text option, and you won't be able to find properly using that particular option, like an HTML option that is demonstrated in the screenshot. Yeah, we just confused about that in terms of HTML. We were able to identify, but we were not able to answer that properly, right? So yeah, let's move on to the process monitor tool, like the procmon.exe. So let's try to run that. Here it is, and this is also dynamic analysis. We just need to filter the output of the procmon for TCP operations. What network protocol is hophelper.exe using to communicate? You do have hint. Make sure to have executed hophelper.exe while procmon was open and capturing events. Like you can set your filter to contain TCP for the hophelper.exe process. You can find the protocol within the path column within the procmon. So we do have some little walkthroughs of ProcMon. Like this is how ProcMon looks like. Process monitor. So you can just set the filter to to something that we needed. Filter contains TCP. So we can just go and filter. It contains TCP. Filter the protocol, right? So So I think I just need to read the hint again. Like you can set your filter that filter to contain TCP for the hophelper.exe. So we just need to set that as TCP. Like what we can set is, I think, the operation, right? So operation contains TCP. So let me search for operation and contains and TCP, right? So TCP, I can add that. I just added that, and operation. After that, you can just enter the process name, right? So filter the output for procmon for TCP operations. Yeah, we just filtered that as TCP operations. What network protocol is hophelper.exe used to communicate? So hophelper, right? So you can set the filter to contain TCP for the hophelper.exe process. So we can also add the process name, I think. Process name contains hophelper, right? So hope helper.exe. I'm just adding that also, clicking apply. Oops, unfortunately there is nothing like that. So yeah, I'm just clicking apply. Here it is. You're able to see a lot of process running, but not any hope helper. So let us try to run that again so that it will be there in the process monitor. So I'm just running that again. After running that again, so let me monitor for hope helper. These are all contains SVC host. I'm just resetting the filters. Here we can see a lot. Searching for hope helper, right? Hope HOP. Like let's start the capturing option. Here it is. The capturing was now started. You can see It is now started, so let's try to execute that again. Yeah, yeah, it's done. So now what I can do is search for hop helper, control F, hop helper, searching for hop. This is running. Hop helper. Here it is, hop helper. There's an hop helper available. What network protocol is hop helper using to communicate? The protocol, the network protocol, right? So let me move to the properties. We just need to find the network protocol. Let us, I think, let us go to the filter options again for filtering out our TCP, right? So the operations, like operation contains TCP. So here it is, a lot of TCPs here. And just clicking filter, searching for process name contains hop helper .exe, adding that, clicking apply. Here it is, we were able to get that, right? So yeah, we were able to get something like the process name. So what we want here is what network protocol is this is using to communicate. We just need to find the network protocol. I'm just double clicking to open that. Here is our path, here is our command line. We have architecture, virtualization, user, session, etc. Other informations. We have a date, class, operation, and some of the other informations. And we have stack. What we need is to find the network protocol. It's about TCP connect, TCP send, receive, disconnect, other operations. You can just read the hints, I think. You can find the protocol within the path column with the ProcMon. So it will be available in the path column. So I think it is recommended to expand the path column. So I'm just expanding the path column, and the protocol seems to be like breach blocker, sandbox, HTTP. HTTP is the protocol that is running. The network protocol that it is using is HTTP for capturing events. That's it. The bonus, you can find the web panel that hophelper.exe is communicating with. You can also read the hints and do it by yourself. It seems like the executable is communicating with some information about the analyst mission. Can you find where and what? Like this is a bonus. Like you can also find the web panel that hophelper.exe is communicating this. You can just do this by yourself. And if you enjoy this room, they can move to basic static analysis and dynamic analysis rooms, which will be available in the TryHackMe. So yeah, that's it. That's all about it, guys. I hope you learned something new from this video. And this is how a real pen tester or a real ethical hacker will solve rooms. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.